Yo, welcome to the 2025 room tour. Now, it's been over a year and a half since the last one, so there's been a ton of changes that I'm really excited to show you guys. So without further ado, let's get started. As usual, we're starting off in the hallway and nothing has changed out here. To the left of my doors, I have the Sword Art Online Alicization key visual on this DIY floating acrylic pane. On my doors, I have the Natsumi and Kotori life-size tapestries from Date Alive. Now, walking into the room, so we're going to start on the left and make our way around the room. Now over here I have the controller for all the LEDs and spotlights. And this is an IKEA Trad-free. And basically with the click of a button, I can turn on and off all the LEDs in my room. It's basically just connected to a bunch of wall sockets. Now IKEA doesn't make these anymore, so I've been looking at alternatives, which I'll link in the description below. But overall, it's very convenient if you don't want to get up and turn off the lights when it's time to go to bed. Above my light switch, I have my Pokemon cards or some of my evolutions from the Sword and Shield era. Now, Pokemon cards have kind of exploded in the last year, so these are probably worth a lot more than several of my figures put together, which I'm not sure how I feel about that, but hey, stonks. Above my Pokemon cards, I have Best Girl from 100 Girlfriends, a tapestry of Karane. To her right, I have a tapestry of Luna from Suryotsu, a tapestry of Shiki from Summer Pocket's Reflection Blue, Kurumi from Date Alive, and I think this is a pretty rare tapestry that took me half a year to find. To her right, I have my Eden of Versailles tapestry. Now, if you've seen any of my vlogs, you'll know it took me 5 years to hunt this thing down. It is absolutely gorgeous, so I don't know if it was worth it, but I do love it very much. Beneath them, I have my two Miku figures on my speakers. So this is the Sowa Miku, and on the right speaker, I have the 16th anniversary Miku. Now, I don't know what it is with me and Miku figures, but most of my Mikus are damaged, like the right twin tail on this one broke off after I dropped her, and this one has a paint scuff after she collided with the speaker, so this white fleck right here. I'm absolutely devastated by this one because I really do like this one, but it is what it is. My speakers are Audio Engine A5 Pluses, and over here I have an Atri mug and a Shiki coaster I got from my last Japan vlog, my AirPods, and my second camera. So if you ever see multiple shots in my videos, the second camera is a broken iPhone X. Now you know. Got some cables connected to some magnets, a HyperX Quadcast. My monitor is a curved 34-inch ultrawide at 120 Hz. My keyboard is a Razer Huntsman Elite, and I know it's very old and we're on Hall Effect now, but it still works, so I haven't found a reason to replace it. And I changed the keycaps out for pudding keycaps because they look pretty nice. To the right of that, I have my Wallhack SPO4 Summer Miku Edition. Now, this is a glass mousepad, and if you've never used glass mousepads before, I wouldn't say they're a life changer, but I would totally recommend them. Your mouse just kind of glides across the surface and feels great to use. So if you want something with little to no resistance, this is it. My mouse is a Beast X Max. My second mouse, which I use to play visual novels, is a Razer Basilisk. Now, I don't really like this thing, but I use it to play visual novel with my feet. So I put this on my stool right here, and I left click with my big toe. If you haven't tried it, I'd recommend it. So right of that, I have the last Pokemon cards I collected, which is why they're in top loaders. So Iono's Bellibolt, Sylveon, and Lily's Clefairy. Nothing has changed about my PC, but it's a i9-13900K, a 4090, and 64 gigs of DDR5. Above that, I have my two Subarashiki Hibi tapestries. This top one is the 15th anniversary bonus from Softmap. I have my Higurashi tapestry, a Blue Archive tapestry, and I think this is from the third chapter, but I don't know because I haven't read that far yet. I just kind of read the event stories I like, so I should probably read the main story. To the right of that, I have my Ginka tapestry. So to the left, I have the Keromakura pre-order bonus for Subahibi's 15th anniversary. And to the right, I have the Amazon pre-order bonus. Next to my PC, I have my iPad Pro. Basically, I use this only to read stuff in bed or on the go. So Project Sekai stories, manga, light novels, and the occasional anime. That's pretty much all I use it for. Next to that, I have my crap top Razer Blade from like 10 years ago. It has a 1080, a 4K touchscreen display, and I absolutely hate this thing, and the only reason I haven't thrown it out is because of how much I spent on it when I bought it. The keyboard sucks, the screen is only 60 Hz, so you can't even game on this gaming laptop. The battery expanded and almost exploded, so I threw that out, so I can't even take this anywhere. And it's so heavy that it's like lugging around a desktop. It absolutely sucks. And if I could sell this for even a quarter of the amount of money I paid for it, I'd do it in a heartbeat. And next to the Razer crap top, I have a 240Hz Alienware monitor connected to all three of these PCs. I have my headset, which I never use because it makes my ears stuffy. The biggest impulse purchase of my life, plastic Miku cat ears and a plastic Miku mask. These don't even fit on my head, and I'd never wear these in the first place, so I honestly don't know why I bought them. This is my travel PC in an H1 case. It's running a Ryzen 7 3700X, 2070, and 32 gigs of DDR4. It's nice and portable and fits in your suitcase. Pretty convenient to take around if you want something stronger than a laptop, but don't want to carry around a giant desktop. Beneath it, I have my visual novel laptop. Basically, I picked this up because I don't really like handhelds, but I wanted to play visual novels on the go, so I wanted something touchscreen, foldable, and with decent battery life. So I bought this Lenovo Yoga 7 from eBay for 190 bucks. It kind of smells like blueberry vape, but for 190 bucks, I'll take it. And I'm playing Monosaba right now, which is Magical Girl Witch Trials, and it's pretty much just Danganronpa, but with magical girls. So you have a bunch of magical girls trapped in a mansion, and eventually they just start killing each other. So you hold witch trials or execution trials to find and kill the murderer. It's pretty stylish and great, so I totally recommend it. And it is on Steam, and the developers have announced an English translation, so you could probably pick that up next year or so. For my keyboard, I have a worn out Razer Black Widow V3, and next to it I have my glorious Model O, and the Subahebe 15th anniversary soft map bonus, which was a glass mousepad. Now my chair is a Secret Lab Titan from 2020, and it's kind of old, so I can't really use the accessories that they're trying to market me, like the magnetic headrest, or any of the skins you can just zip up over the chair. And I'd like to upgrade to one of the newer models so I can get like an anime chair skin, but these things are like 400, 500 bucks now, so that's probably not happening anytime soon. Now, my desks are FlexiSpot E7, so this is an E7L motorized up desk, and this one is a FlexiSpot E7 Pro. And this third one is also a FlexiSpot E7 Pro. If you're wondering why I have 3 motorized desks, I also wonder why I have 3 motorized desks. I genuinely don't even need this one because it kind of just crowds the area, and I got this one for free, so I just kind of ended up using all 3 of them. Also, these are very convenient if you ever want to stand and use your PC. So you can just press a button, walk away, and they'll just kind of go up on their own. Oh, holy shit, the glass literally popped out. Okay, I should probably put these back to normal. Holy shit. To be honest, I still have no idea how that happened. Maybe an earthquake hit and shifted the glass cases over, but whenever my desks aren't destroying my collection, they're pretty neat because you can just adjust them to whatever height you need. Not that my lazy ass would ever use the standing mode, but I do have a height specifically set for when I'm snacking. Okay, I don't know what the hell happened to my desk. Yeah, that wasn't supposed to happen. But to the right, I have my glass displays from Amazon. Now, these are basically the exact same size as 2 IKEA Detolfs put together. So same height, same width, same length. If you have a bunch of IKEA Detolfs like me, and you don't want to mix and match a bunch of weird displays, I 100% recommend these, and I'll put them in the description down below. And I have them raised on IKEA Bestas. So this is the 3-in-1 TV stand. To the left, I have some Japanese manga and accessories. And to the right, I have some health products and 2 Project Sekai cookies I got. Now, these things are probably like a year over their expiration date. Honestly, I have no idea what to do with these. They look kind of nice, but they're no longer edible. Now, starting on top of the displays, I have Scotty Alter's E2 by Mythos. She's also too big to fit in any Detolfs or glass cases, which is why she's up there. Beneath that, I have one of the Hatsune Miku digital stars. Now, this is my favorite Miku, but she's also the most damaged because I scuffed the paint on the back of the base while trying to put her in, and while wiping the paint scuff off, I scratched it even more, so that one kind of depressed me. I have some Miku Gacha acrylics, the Senbon Zakura Miku, which is one of the few Mikus in my collection which aren't damaged, Megumin by Eastream, and I have Lacia from Beatless. Next to Miku, I have Lapland Horrormare by Alter. I made a dedicated video for her, but she is probably the best figure I picked up this year, and I totally recommend you guys go check that out. And to her right, I have Texas E2. Now beneath them, I have Chen and Hoshiguma in their skins. And next to Megumin, I have Surtur by Mythos. I have Fushuan by Apex Toys. and a random blue gacha girl. Now I put most of my fake figures here, so I have John, Saber in her fake Grand Order cloak, Abby in her swimsuit, Tamamo, and Mordred. Now Mordred's on this little foam thing because she started leaning forward a lot, so I had to prop her up. Behind them I have my Subahibi acrylics from the China collab shop, some Yuri goods and Yuri figures, Karane from 100 Girlfriends, Maria from Mariaholic, probably the only figure of a dude I own, so there's that, Moto from Genshin Impact, and Chitose from Nisekoi. Now behind my displays I have the cover art tapestries of Subahibi, a cinnamon roll plush, a Dodeka Miku Fua, and a Pokemon Squishmallow. Basically my bed's just a few mats on top of this IKEA bed frame looking thing, but my bed is touching 0 walls, so I moved it away from the wall, stuffed that edge with pillows so I can lay down horizontally or vertically, so I can play visual novels and watch anime in bed on a giant monitor. This is why I have this big 27-inch monitor connected to this extra long 3-prong monitor arm. So basically, I can lay down and watch anime or read visual novels in bed like this, and if I ever get too tired of laying down on my left, I can take this and move it and lay down on my right. Yeah, I'm pretty genius at coming up with that. If you want to steal that idea, go for it. Totally recommend, 10 out of 10. So you could probably fit 5 dudes on my bed laying down side by side. Not that I'd want 5 dudes in my bed, but... Now, next to my pillow, I have a small Hoshino plush, a small tapestry of Anna from K, and 4 life-size Lucky Star tapestries from the 20th anniversary of Lucky Star. Now, I have a dedicated video on these guys. It's a giant Konata, Kagami, Tsukasa, and I forget her name. This corner is probably the biggest change. Now, I've always wanted to collect plushies, but never got around to it. So right here, I have Miku in a snake onesie with a derpy look on her face. And her tail is also super long. And her expression is just way too cute, so this is probably one of my favorites. Beneath her, she's sitting on a Sylveon plush. Beneath them, I have a Rimuru beanbag plush. Next to that, I have my Autumn Miku Fua. She's got this frilly dress, a bunch of ribbons and X's on her twin tails, and this blank look on her face, this little witch hat that she has on. So this one's probably my favorite Fua. Above them, I have my Suzune plush and 2 plushes of Murasame, X-mouth looking one, and Murasame with an ice cream, a Miku Fua in a dragon onesie, and a small snow Miku Fua. Underneath them, I have another Pokemon Squishmallow, and a Miku pillow I got for $3 in Japan. Moving on from my plushies, I have figures in 4 detolfs on my back wall and my light novel, visual novel, manga, and Blu-ray collection. And I have some shikishi between the bookshelf, detolfs, and the ceiling. Starting off in the top left corner, I have the Master Grade Gundam Phoenix, Master Grade Banshee, and I lost his faceplate, so if he was in destroy mode, he'd have no face. And finally, a Master Grade Gundam Unicorn in full armor. Now moving on to the figures in this back wall, these are kind of the figures that don't really have a place anywhere else in my collection because they're either OCs or I don't have many goods from the series they're from. Starting in the top left corner, I think this is an OC by Freeing. It's a bunny girl in a crown, and I removed her ears because she doesn't really fit in the detolf. Moving down, I have my 1/4 Senran Kagura girls, so Hikage in a lewd nurse outfit, and Ryobi in a red bunny suit. Now, I don't know why, but Freeing decided to give Ryobi a custom red bunny outfit, which is probably one of the most creative bunnies they've ever released, and there hasn't really been anything like her since. Now, below her, I have Yami from To Love Ru in a standard bunny outfit. Now, hidden in this bottom shelf, I have this Shui bunny I got for super cheap in Japan, and I can see why she binned because her hair is literally just a blocky mess. Now, moving on to my second detolf, I have Miku in one of Freeing's rare custom bunny outfits, some coasters from the Proseka Sanrio Collab Cafe, some cutesy OCs, another Yami from To Love Ru, and Murasame from Senran Banka. And finally, Yume from Dynazenon. Now, I feel like this figure itself is fine, but her base is literally just a giant brick, so she doesn't really look good no matter where I put her. In the third shelf, I have Alice by Eastream. Now, below her, we have some OCs by the artist Rurudo. And it feels like this original character, Eve, is one of the most hyped up OCs of all time, because I think almost every artwork for her has been picked up to become a figure. On the third shelf, I have Ai from Ocean no Ko, And I think this is an OC, but all I remember is that her release caused a whole bunch of drama because she came leaning so far forward out of the box that some users reported she just fell over on her own. And on the bottom shelf, I have Nero in a Valentine's dress. Now moving on to the last detail, I have Kurumi by Eastream. Now I think this figure would have been so much better if it used her astral dress. Rory from Gate, Scarlet from Toho, and the little sister from Haganai. And then I kind of have a best girls shelf with Kurisu from Steins Gate, Kyoko from Danganronpa, and Futaba from Persona 5. And finally on the very last shelf, I have Kurumi from Dead Alive. Now next to my details, I basically have a bunch of IKEA billies with the sides cut out and LED strips put in them. Now I have a dedicated video on how to make these and they're really cheap at like 20-30 bucks per bookshelf, but it's also kind of a pain to do. So I don't know if I'd recommend it, but it did turn this dark side of a wall into this highlight in my collection. So it is really cool. Now moving on to my bookshelf, I have a acrylic of Kami-sama Choose, which is a visual novel about a trap and a gender-bent teacher. Don't ask. A real grade Justice, I have a real grade Force Impulse, and a real grade Freedom, a Umineko acrylic, a Gundam headband, a Tsubahime acrylic, and a Ginka acrylic. Now moving down to the bookshelf, I have the Smiling Sakura Miku Noodle Topper, and some mini Nendroids of the Lucky Star Girls. Onto the Blu-ray collection, I have Tenki no Ko, Attack on Titan, Sword Art Online, No Game No Life, Madoka, Monogatari, Gurren Lagann, Garden of Sinners, and then some regular Blu-rays. A giant John altar figure by Lycorn, and now this is one of my favorite figures, but she doesn't fit in a detail or glass case. A Shiki Shikishi, a blue wind chime, some mini Shikishis of Tsubahime, and Sakura no Toki. A small acrylic of Hasaki, a sealed copy of Tsubahime Full Voice HD Edition, the bonus light novel that came with Sakura no Toki, an acrylic of Kagami, the first press special edition of Tsubahime, and the 10th anniversary edition of Tsubahime. Moving down to the light novel collection, I have a little Japan papercraft, some of my favorite light novels, and then some novels I didn't have space for anywhere else. Below them I have some art books, my Sword Art Online novels, and Excel World light novels. I have mostly isekai novels and a sealed No Game No Life Blu-ray and a Kyokai no Kanata Blu-ray, and some more isekai novels and sealed Blu-ray boxes. And if you're wondering why I have so many sealed Blu-ray boxes, it's actually because another collector gave me his whole sealed collection for free. So about half my collection is from him, and I'm super grateful that he gave them to me. Seems like my cat joined me for my room tour. Hey Shido. This is Shido. He has different colored eyes. And he's usually a lazy piece of shit. Alright, moving on. In the center of my bookshelf, I have my Subarush Kihibe collection. So this is the sealed copy of the 15th anniversary edition, a sealed copy of the 10th anniversary edition, the art book, a Yuki acrylic, a Yuki keychain, the can badge bonuses from the China collab shop, sealed copies of the original CDs, and the participation prize for the soft map lottery. On the second shelf, I have my Shiki and Summer Pockets shrine, so the deluxe edition of Summer Pockets Reflection Blue, the Shiki birthday goods, and a sealed copy of the Shiki birthday goods, a sealed copy of Summer Pockets Reflection Blue, and some more bonuses that came with the deluxe edition. On the third shelf, I have my Grisaya shelf. So I have the Grisaya Remastered box from last year, some Grisaya Shikishi, a Grisaya acrylic, and a second Grisaya acrylic. On the fourth shelf, I have my 9 shrines. So basically the 9 deluxe edition and everything that came with it. So the acrylic, the letter from Sophie, the game, and the art book. And this is actually my second copy of the deluxe edition because the first one was damaged by the shipping company. And I know this doesn't look bad, but I spent a lot of time heating and gluing this back together, and I was pretty depressed about this one, so I kept the search open in my tabs, and miraculously, this one appeared for a pretty good price, which is why I picked it up. Below that, I have my Mikaku City Actors, or Kagero Day shelf. So all the Blu-ray in this Blu-ray box. The first episode, because the artwork of Ene and the color is just so good. Children Record, Live in Mikaku City, Summer 13. I forget which one this was, but there's Mikaku City Records back there, and Days. And finally on the last shelf, I have my Pokemon collection. So a bunch of singles at the very bottom, some sealed packs, more singles, and 2 of the Japan boxes, and a Lily's Premium Tournament collection. Moving on to the right shelf, I have all my visual novels at the top and all my manga at the bottom. And I think this is eventually just going to turn into a visual novel shelf since that's usually what I'm collecting these days. But from the top left, I have Higurashi, another copy of Summer Pockets Reflection Blue, 9 storage box, and inside you basically have each of the visual novels in this kind of book style. Now, I think 9 got an anime recently, but the first episode was absolutely atrocious, so I'm just gonna pretend it doesn't exist. A second copy of the first print limited edition of Tsubahibi, a second copy of the 15th anniversary edition of Tsubahibi, and a second copy of Tsubahibi Full Voice HD edition. And they got Sakura no Uta, Sakura no Toki, Nukitashi 1, Nukitashi 2, and Hentai Prison, Alkana, Alkana Extra 1, Alkana Extra 2 Premium Edition, and Alkana Extra 2 Limited Edition. And if you're wondering what the difference between the Premium and the Limited are, that's pretty much it. And you get a bunch of extra goods with the limited edition. Top shelf is mostly works or series I consider kamiges or godly games, which is why I'll have 2, 3, 4, or 6 copies of some of these visual novels. Below it, I have Suryoutsu 1, its spin-off Otome Riron, Suryoutsu 2, Suryoutsu 2.1, and Otome Domain. Now, these are all visual novels about a trap in an all-girls school, but I swear to God, it is all coincidence. Then I have Fuyukara Kururu, which is one of the first VNs I read in Japanese. The OP is an absolute banger, and I don't remember much about this story. I think there are Futanaris. I genuinely don't know. Don't ask me. Then my copy of Majikoi and the Grisai series. Then my box set of If My Heart Had Wings, and the 3 VNs from A Sky Full of Stars. Then I have my Shiki acrylic, and she is damaged, which makes me really sad because I think her price has doubled right now. Then I have Wagamama High Spec, Noraneko 2, Lala Jam, Cafe Stella, Riddle Joker, and a random VN I got bundled with one of my auction wins, and then Moiko Tendencies, Little Busters, then the Riton fan disc, and coincidentally, the main character is also a trap in an all-girls school, and this one actually comes bundled with a Nendroid, which I've never seen before, so that's pretty cool. Another random VN that was bundled with one of my wins, Amatsutumi and the 2 Happy Mayors, and then the Iroseka fan disc, Akaseka. My copy of Koikake, DS Irae, or however you pronounce it, Rewrite, Akaseka with the Shinku plush, Iroseka, Hoshimemo, and Fate Hollow Ataraxia. And then I got this little Iroseka acrylic. To the left, I have some of my favorite manga like Sonobisk Doll, Lucky Star, I Had the Same Dream Again, and Hyakano. Below that, I have the high-grade Barbados and half my Attack on Titan manga, because the rest doesn't fit, my Kaguya-sama manga, Kakegurui, and Mysterious Hero on X. Then I have Citrus, Watamute, which is actually a great-ass read, Call of the Night, Fate Zero, Mayochiki, Boom Into You, and some more Blu-ray I gratefully inherited for free. Now onto the final wall of my collection. This is the Detolf wall, where I have 7 Detolfs over 5 Bestas with some stuff on top. At the top, I have an acrylic of Tsubahibi, a real grade Exia in the GN Arms, some Evangelion Gachapon, the real grade 00 Quanta, the perfect grade Exia with the repair parts, and the repair parts cost more than a master grade, but I do think it's worth it because the Terminator Eye and the cloak and the broken sword are just so cool. My Summer Pockets acrylic, and a bunch of high grades from the Gundam 00 series and the real grade 00 Rise, and then some smelly things so my room doesn't smell like an anime convention. Starting off here on the left, I have my Sword Art Online collection, so I have Asuna, Sinon, and Lifa in their goddess forms. Then I have Asuna, Lifa, and Sinon again, but in their regular or normal game outfits, I guess. And then the Blu-ray boxes of Sword Art Online behind them, and a small Shikishi of Asuna from SAO Progressive. Moving down, I have my figure of Alice with her eye patch, which the eye patch is very hot, but the base is very ugly. I don't know why they gave her this hiss yellow base. And then I have a Kirito and Yu-Gi-Oh keychain, Kujo Karen phone case that I used to use. I don't know why she's there. Oh, maybe because Kujo Karen's up here. SAO Alicization Blu-ray box. And below them, I have the SAO Alicization phone case, the War of Underworld Blu-ray box, Kuroyoki Hime from Excel World, a bunch of the Blu-ray bonuses, the alternate color of Dizzy, and a Kirito and Asuna mug. In the second Detolf, I have the Ordinal Scale shelf with Asuna up at the top, the Ordinal Scale Blu-ray, and the Ordinal Scale light novel, and a little Asuna Ordinal Scale keychain. Then my Girls Frontline Party Dress shelf, so MDR, Florence or PA15, and Sapma 2. Now I was so excited for the Sapi figure, but her hair is absolutely atrocious, which is so sad. Then I have an OTS 14 shelf from Girls Frontline. I don't know why this shelf exists because I don't particularly like this character or know anything about her. Then I have some prize figures from a Supernatural Battle anime and the Overlord Blu-ray box. And behind the Detolfs, I have a Sakura no Uta tapestry, Aokana, and Sakura no Toki. And in the 2 bestas underneath the Detolfs, I have a sealed Pokemon collection and some shoes. In the left one, I have some Evolving Skies ETBs, Journey Together ETBs, some empty boxes, top loaders, and an Iono Premium Tournament collection, and some Louis Vuitton Kanye West Jaspers. Now these are replica shoes because I'm not about to drop $10,000 or $20,000 on glorified clown shoes, but I always thought these shoes were the coolest thing because they have these Louis Vuitton symbols on the pink sole. And for some reason, they kind of just remind me of No Game No Life. So I wanted these for the longest time and I came across a pair of replicas on eBay, so I had to pick this up. Then in the right Vesta, I have some singles, open booster boxes, some more singles, sealed Crown Zenith mini tins, and like 50 packs of Evolving Skies, 20 packs of Silver Tempest, and like 10 packs of Lost Origin. And then I have the left shoe for a black and red Yeezy, and underneath it, I have the mat from the EV Friends Collab Cafe in Japan. The third detail, I have my Sayakano or How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend figures, so Edidi, Utaha, and Megubi. My Pokemon figures, Lily, Rosa, and Iono. The menu from the EV Friends Cafe, a copy of Pokemon White 2, a Chinese Iono box, the Iono Premium Torno collection, my Iono card, the Tokyo Skytree Pokemon collab pamphlet, some more singles, and finally my copy of Pokemon Black. Below them I have my No Game No Life shelf, so Shiro, and Shui, and then my copy of the No Game No Life Blu-ray box. Finally on the bottom shelf I have my Yu-Gi-Oh! And second No Game No Life shelf. I have Jibril, the God cards, Dark Magician, Blue Eyes White Dragon, the No Game No Life Zero Blu-ray box, and finally some cards from the Labyrinth deck, which was the last deck I played. Moving on to the top shelf, in the center detail from my collection, I have my figure of Reading Steiner Kurisu, my Steins Gate visual novel, some keychains from Steins Gate, some lab member water, a Kurisu phone case, the lab member badges, and a little Kurisu acrylic. Onto the second shelf, I have my Monogatari shelf, which I'm not that big of a fan of, but I watched it with my friend who is a huge fan, and hearing him rant and rave about it kind of made me want to buy these figures. So I have Senju Gahara, Shinobu, and Yotsugi. And I also have a Yotsugi art book, and a Shikishi, I think, which is signed by the author. Below the Monogatari shelf, I have a little shelf, which is literally little because it's pushed up by this Black Rock shooter figure, with the little version of HK416 and UMP45. Now moving down to the final shelf, I have my Black Rock shooter shelf. Now like the OTS shelf, I'm not really sure why this shelf exists because I don't really like Black Rock shooter that much as a series, but if you're a bit of a Chunibo like me, I suppose her character design is pretty cool with the black coat, the giant cannon, and the flaming eye. Now, I don't really like the right figure because she turned out nothing like the promo pictures, and she's pretty much prize figure level quality. And the only good thing about her is if you put this USB in this power bank, she lights up. And although I really like figures that light up like this, the quality on this figure is just a bit too bad to ignore. Now this next detail is completely reserved for Arknights, and that's because Arknights has great character design, but it's also the first gacha game I ever played. And the reason for that is W up here at the very top. W's character design is so good, she's the only reason I'm a certified gambling addict now. Now, while this figure doesn't really stand up to the other Arknights figures in my collection, she is getting a figure of her E2 form by Prime 1, who I don't really like, but the promo pictures do look very good, so for $800, I guess I'll have to pull the trigger. To her left, I have a painted garage kit of W, and it cost me $500 to get her done, and I have a dedicated video on her, but I do kind of regret it now because this artwork is getting a scale figure very soon. Next we have Schwartz E2 by Alter, and this figure is just so crisp. I don't know how else to describe it, but the quality on this figure is just so good, and compared to other figures in my collection, it's like the difference between 4K and 1080p. Like if I had any complaints about this figure, it's probably just the plain black base. And on the third shelf, I have Exia, and she's alone because I stole Texas away to put next to Lapland. And finally, on the bottom shelf, I have Happy Bagpipe over here. Now, I really struggled deciding what figures to put on the bottom shelf, and I'm really glad that this figure is kind of facing upwards, and she has this really wide base. So even at the bottom of a detail, she really has a lot of impact. In the center Besta, I have all the giant VN boxes that don't fit in my bookshelf, like the Cafe Stella Soft Map Limited Edition bonus box, the Fruit of Grisaya Soft Map Limited Edition bonus box, the Labyrinth of Grisaya Soft Map Limited Edition bonus box, and the Eden of Grisaya Soft Map Limited Edition bonus box. Then I have my second copy of the 9 Deluxe Edition and the Irosaka full set box. Some of the food toppers I got from my visits to collab cafes, and they're kind of disintegrating and disgusting, so I think I should throw them out. They were touching food, so they're kind of gross and super super old and yellowing, and I definitely don't want to open them up and smell them, but they're just too cute to throw away, so I don't know what to do. Now moving on to the right, I have some of the bonuses from the Grisaya soft map box. Some Project Sekai Sanrio Collab Cafe stuff. Some Dakimakura covers, which I won't show you because I don't know if they're safe for work or not, but I don't have a Dakimakura, so I just kind of keep them there. And I've actually been thinking of getting a Dakimakura, not for the reasons you might think, but recently I've been leaning so hard on my side, I kind of end up laying face down, which isn't that good for my back, so I do want some support. And this is not an excuse to get a Dakimakura, it's just for my health, like my physical health. And then I have this Project Sekai Sanrio Collab Cafe mini bag. And then some limited edition Gunpla I haven't opened, like this Premium Bandai Sword Impulse Gundam and the Nike Unicorn High Grade Collab Gundams. Now moving on to the tapestries behind my center 3D dolls, I have a giant Sword Art Online tapestry and then a giant Black Rock Shooter tapestry. At the very top I have my Data Live girls, so Toka, Kurumi, and Natsumi. The 10th anniversary acrylic that came with the box set. But yeah, this very beautiful artwork of all the girls in Shido by Sunako. And beneath them, I have my Chobik shelf, so I have 2 cheese. Beneath the cheese shelf, I have a random assortment of figures like Hina from The Day It Became God, some OC, and I think this is a VTuber, don't know, but I'm pretty sure. And a Roxy figure, I think this is an original character, a Lena Shikishi from 86, stuff from the Idolmaster Collab Cafe, and then finally some stuff from the Dress Up Darling Cafe. And in the final detail, I have my slime figures. So Rimuru by Eastream and Millum. Below my slime shelf, I have my Azur Lane shrine. And the reason why I have a shrine for a game I've never played before is because I visited the 7th anniversary festival, and that was the best experience I've ever had in Japan. And the reason for that is because it was completely free. You could play a whole bunch of games and win prizes, and you're treated to a drone show and fireworks show at the end, which was absolutely massive. Overall, all in all, a really incredible experience, and I have a vlog of it on my channel, so I totally recommend you check it out. But moving on, I have some of the holographic stickers I won from playing the games in the festival, and some postcards, my wristbands, the waters, some acrylics I got from the festival, some coasters I got from the Anime Cafe truck. Trying to get to this cafe is what led me to this free festival, which is kind of insane. And then my Amagi-chan figure, which is pretty cute, and the only Azur Lane figure I have. Now below my Azur Lane shelf, I have my Blue Archive shelf. Over here I have this Wakamo figure, which is absolutely gorgeous, and she's got this acrylic base, which is so cool. I love this so much more than the stupid little plastic circles most figures have. And the goods behind them are basically a split between the Sweets Paradise collab in Japan and the Mom's Touch collabs in Korea. So the second Mom's Touch collab was between Mom's Touch and Problem Solver 68, and then the third collab was between Mom's Touch and Highlander. This one was really cool since they came with these like glitter acrylics. But yeah, basically you can turn them upside down and get a whole bunch of glitter all over the place. And then they also came with these little glitter keychains, which I really like. I would totally use these on my bags if they weren't limited and I had more of them. And then I have an acrylic of Fubuki, and then some of the cards I got for buying the food. And I think these two Mom's Touch collabs are the only collabs where I got in every single collab good, and that's because Mom's Touch is the greatest fast food chicken restaurant on the entire planet. Popeyes and Chick-fil-A have absolutely nothing on Mom's Touch. For $3, the Side Burger is the greatest fried chicken burger that mankind has ever come up with. And then the final shelf of the final detail is this Kurumi Data Live shelf. And this is the Kurumi that came bundled with the Data Bullet Blu-ray, but I don't like how she turned out despite being a huge fan of that key visual. She just looks kind of off. And then you have the light novel box that came with the 10th anniversary acrylic, but I don't collect the Japanese light novels, so it's just kind of a backdrop for the detail. The Data Bullet Blu-ray, a Kurumi acrylic, and a Kurumi phone case. On the very bottom Besta, I have all the goods that I don't really display. So the baggies I got from the Azur Lane Festival. Oh yeah, they give you baggies for every day you attended. Like you get this fan, the baggie has all these little cute designs on them. Some Cafe Stella can badges. In front of them, I have some of the purchase bonuses I got from the Subahibi collab shop in China. I hit the bonus threshold like 65 times or something crazy, so I have like a giant stack of these postcards and a whole bunch of these canned badges. And I have so many of these that I'm giving these away in my Subahibi video. if you want to go check that out. A Hatsune Miku hologram box. Some stuff for the Gamers HoloLive Collab Cafe at Annie Plus in Korea. This is the placeholder mat for visiting the cafe. I got 2 of the daytime versions and 1 of the nighttime chibi versions. An Okayu coaster thing, the stamp rally at Ami Ami, and the prize for this is a free Ami Ami folding fan, which is pretty nice. Some Iroseka acrylics, and then behind all of them, I have some of the coasters from the Sanrio Anime Collab Cafe with Proseka. So Kanade, Best Girl, Miku, Ichika, The Mean Ginger, and another Miku, and 2 AMVs. I'll clean up that mess later, but behind the details, I have a tapestry of Date Alive, Tsuryotsu 2, and Tsuryotsu 1. Over to my door, I have my life-size tapestry of Shiki from Summer Pockets Reflection Blue, and my life-size tapestry of Murasame from Senran Banka. Over to the right, I have my LED calendar, and I only turn this thing on for the room tour, otherwise I just keep it off because it's way too bright for my liking and pretty distracting in my sleep. It does have a light sensor to automatically dim, but even then, it's still a bit too bright. Next to it, I have my Vampire Miku tapestry. Above it, I have my tapestry of Kuro or MDR. And over my closet, I have 3 of the signed art frames from the Super Hippie collab shop in China, and 1 art frame which is the S prize in the Akiba Eden lottery. And last but not least, I have the birthday life-size tapestry of Kurumi from Date Alive. Now we've made a ton of progress in this room since moving in last year, like ripping up the carpet and putting down hardwood, and removing the old ceiling fans and putting in these recessed lights. Now I'm starting to feel like I've reached the theoretical limits to what I can do with this room, or at least with this design. Now during last year's room tour, I asked you guys what I should put in this corner, and out of the 30,000 of you that watched that room tour, I got a grand total of 0 answers. So I'm not expecting much from you guys, but if you have any ideas on what else I can add to the room, the comments are down below. Now it's really weird that every single time I record one of these videos, I'm literally about to head to Japan. So if you made it till the end, thank you so much for watching. And if you're watching this one was uploaded, Merry Christmas, and I'll be in Japan. So I'll see you guys in next year's vlog.